Right. Hello, everyone. Today we're talking also about Hume. So, in light of Hume's theory of perception, how ought we understand Hume's theory of the mind? Right. So, here's a question. Do we have a personal identity? Um, Put a different way, do we have an unalterable ego? Is there something that about us that we can always point to and say, "Look, this is who I am. Essentially, that's who I am. And I'm the same person that I am today as I was when I was 5 years old, and as I'll be when I'm 80 years old." Is there any one thing that we can point to that I've always had the entire time and say that, "Look, I'm identical to myself," right? So is there something that makes us who we are through time? That's an important philosophical question because it has big implications for moral responsibility. So, so according to Hume, you can only know things in which you can perceive. So, according to Hume, you can have no direct experience of I or of an unalterable ego or of a personal identity, right? These things are just complex ideas that you're kind of trying to fit together, but that you've never actually perceived, right? So Hume thinks, based on this, is that there's no such thing as you. You don't really exist at all. There's nothing to you but a number of impressions that come and go, a number of impressions and ideas and feelings and such that are just constantly sort of like a stream. Your mental events are just changing at every moment, right? And there's nothing to you other than this kind of stream of perceptions and impressions and feelings. So mental events or impressions are kind of like a theater, right? One comes into the spotlight, it dips out of the spotlight, the next one shows up, right? And so your mind is in a constant state of change. My mind is also in a constant state of change, and there's nothing about our mind that is unchanging that we can like point to and say, look, that's who you are. So the author of this text, I think, rightly draws this really interesting connection between David Hume and Buddha. According to Buddhism, there is nothing that it is to be essentially you. There is no you, there is no me, right? Rather, there's just like a collection of parts that sort of do things and think things and have functions, but there is no essential part to any of us, right? So according to the Buddha, you are a bundle of perceptions and experiences that just kind of keep on occurring. And so you're not really identifiable to yourself in the past or the future, other than maybe that's useful way to talk about things. So there's an interesting connection between Hume and Eastern philosophers, and um, and we saw in this that Hume's theory of mind is that there's just it's kind of like a film reel, right? So you those old film reels that just have a bunch of little pictures that slide really quickly past the light, and it kind of looks like it's moving on the screen. Hume's theory of mind is a lot like that. It's just a number of different things that keep changing and they kind of seem coherent and they seem to fit with one another. But there is no thing that we can point to show that that is essentially you.